Microsoft has spent the last year systematically destroying the Xbox brand. Whether if it's record-breaking layoffs, studios being shut down which make no sense at all, and now the fact that Game Pass has had a dramatic price increase, things have never looked worse for the Xbox brand. It seems like they are not just losing the console war anymore, they may be packing up their bags and leaving the console gaming market altogether. Just this month, Microsoft announced a huge 50% increase in the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate from $19.99 to $29.99 a month. This 50% increase was framed by Microsoft as a part of major Game Pass revamp with added benefits. The official line was that new perks had justified the price increase. As they stated, gamers would get more day one releases along with additions like Ubisoft Plus Classics and Fortnite Crew. Apparently this was them listening to fan feedback by giving us all titles that, while yes they are great games, they don't justify a 50% price increase.
Hey everyone, Xbox Game Pass is getting an upgrade. We've listened to your feedback, and now you have even more freedom to choose how you play the games you want.
Yeah, when she says we listen to your feedback, it's literally her talking about the feedback from the shareholders. You have to think for yourself, is Ubisoft Plus Classics and Fortnite Crew worth the $28 of added value to the Ultimate subscription? You're literally getting the Ubisoft Epic Games Demonic Duo bundle for this additional $28, which nobody really cares about. Days before the price hike, Xbox president Sarah Bond publicly stated that Game Pass had a record year and was already profitable. In an interview at Tokyo Game Show 2025, Bond revealed that Game Pass brought in $5 billion in revenue just last year, confirming that it has a profitable business model and claiming that it's good for creators. So all of this makes the 50% price increase seem like it's been done for pure greed. There was a ton of backlash following this Game Pass announcement, as thousands had rushed over to cancel their Game Pass subscriptions. There was so much traffic that Microsoft's own account management website crashed multiple times under the load. Even on Google Trends, searches for cancel Xbox Game Pass had spiked to the maximum possible interest level of 100 right after the announcement. Even GameStop had posted a meme on X stating that gamers are better off buying games outright in stores than paying $30 a month for Game Pass. You can see how the rising price of a Netflix subscription versus a Game Pass subscription has increased from 2017 to 2025. The premium subscriptions have gradually inflated that people don't even notice, and now Xbox Game Pass costs you more than a Netflix subscription. To make matters worse, Microsoft has also quietly raised the price of PC Game Pass by 40% at the same time, from $11.99 to $16.49 a month. They've done this without any upfront announcement, which users had only discovered after the fact. Microsoft also took away perks. For example, they removed the 10% subscriber discount on Call of Duty in-game purchases and DLC for Ultimate members. Things like COD points and Battle Pass bundles are no longer being discounted, despite them having just raised the price by $10. So they are literally charging you more while delivering less. Then you have these Game Pass upgrades with Ubisoft Plus and Fortnite Crew being included, but nobody cares about either of them. Ubisoft Plus Classics is a vault of older Ubisoft games. People are rightfully dismissing this as a bunch of games that we could just buy for $5 on sale. Then there's Fortnite Crew, a monthly subscription to an already free game. This felt irrelevant to many core Xbox players. Then there is also EA Play, which Microsoft touted as a sweetener on the deal, but this has already been included in Game Pass for years. Game Pass had built its entire reputation on this promise of playing Xbox's biggest games on the day that they launch. No need to wait, no need to pay an expensive $70 price tag, just download the new game and play it straight away. This was the hook that got many people to subscribe, and this is what had made Game Pass ultimately feel so special. Under Game Pass's new 3-tier system of Essential, Premium, and Ultimate, only the $29.99 a month Ultimate includes day one access to Xbox Game Studios titles. The mid-range Premium tier, formerly known as Standard Game Pass, does not get new games at launch. Instead, Microsoft now now makes those subscribers wait within 12 months of launch for first-party titles. Well, by the time that a year rolls around, the hype for the game is already gone, your friends would have already beaten the game, and spoilers for the game would be all over the internet, and most players would have moved on. This change literally gets rid of the core appeal of Game Pass for anyone who isn't on the ultimate tier pricing. If you have to wait a year, then why don't you just buy the game on sale for $30 instead of paying for a monthly subscription? Even Call of Duty titles will only be available day one on the $30 Ultimate plan. If you have premium, you'll have to purchase Call of Duty separately or upgrade your subscription. It's literally Microsoft greedily expecting players to cough up more money for the biggest games. This is them admitting that putting huge titles on Game Pass at launch can tank their sales. This is a lesson that they have learned the hard way in 2024. A Bloomberg report revealed just how costly this day one strategy was for at least one mega franchise. When Microsoft made Call of Duty Black Ops 6 a Game Pass day one title after they had acquired Activision, they had literally given up more than $300 million in sales that year. According to former Microsoft employees, internal estimates had shown that by being free to subscribers on Xbox, Black Ops 6 sold dramatically fewer copies on Microsoft's own platforms. 82% of all of the full-price copies of Black Ops 6 were actually sold on PlayStation, which did not have the game included on a subscription system. Essentially, PlayStation reaped the sales revenue while Xbox bet on Game Pass engagement. This was a bet that ultimately didn't pay off in revenue terms. These stats underscore the cannibalization effect that Game Pass can have on game sales. Microsoft's response, rather than reversing costs on day one launches, has been to jack up the subscription price to compensate for those lost sales. They are trying to force the model to work by extracting more cash per user instead of admitting that the model might be flawed for big budget games. A year ago, Game Pass Ultimate cost you $15 a month, and it would have included all first party titles on day one of launch. This was literally an unbeatable deal within the industry. Now that the same experience is costing you $30 with this 50% price increase, it's no longer the great deal that it once was. Comparatively, Nintendo Switch Online, which has its own library of retro games, as well as online play included, ranges from between $20 to $50 per year. Then you have PlayStation Plus Premium with its own library of games as well as cloud streaming, which adds up to about $160 per year. Game Pass Ultimate now costs you an annual price of $360, almost double the price of PlayStation Plus Premium. And what are you paying this $360 a year for? A library that's been called weak by many people who have even tried hard to like it. Microsoft's console hardware strategy has also become a mess. In the past year, Xbox hardware prices went up even as sales went down. Microsoft is even outsourcing Xbox devices to third parties at absurd price points. Console manufacturers typically drop prices over time, but Microsoft increased the prices of Xbox Series X and S twice within 12 months. In mid-2023, they quietly raised prices in many regions. Then in late 2025, they did it again. For example, the 1TB Xbox Series X standard model went from a launch MSRP of $499 to $599 by mid-2025, and then up to $649.99 in the latest price hike. And they've even introduced a new 2TB Series X Galaxy Black Edition for $799.99. The ex-Blizzard president Mike Ybarra blasted Microsoft, saying console price increases are not tariff issues, they are profit issues. He's saying that Xbox is charging more simply because of its other business problems, which include the losses that they have suffered from Game Pass as well as underperforming hardware sales. This is why they are being forced to squeeze more margin from the hardware. With sales plummeting, retailers are now abandoning Xbox. Microsoft has stopped reporting unit sales, but their financial reports show that hardware revenue has fallen 13% in 2022 and another 20% in 2023. By early 2025, Xbox hardware revenue was down 22% year over year. In September of 2025, Costco confirmed that it's removed all Xbox consoles from its stores and websites. A representative stated that they have no plans going forward would to carry Xbox consoles, calling it a business decision. The representative did say though they've got great deals on Switch and PlayStation though. Microsoft appears to be betting on hardware as they've partnered with PC manufacturers to create Xbox branded devices instead of traditional consoles. One major example is the new Asus ROG Ally X, essentially a Windows 11 gaming handheld that Microsoft is marketing as an Xbox handheld. The ROG Ally X costs a whopping $999, making it the most expensive Xbox ever. For that price, you could buy 2 PlayStation 5s or nearly 3 Nintendo Switches. What's worse is that the tech inside isn't even cutting edge. The base model ROG Ally, which is $600, uses an AMD APU that's roughly on par with the Steam Deck's 2022 era specs. And the high-end Ally X for $1,000 has a slightly newer chip that offers only about 12% better performance than the previous generation in real-world tests. Is this really worth it when a Steam Deck is now priced as low as $319? Valve can afford to do this because they make a ton of money on software sales. But Microsoft's partners don't have this luxury, so this is why the Xbox Ally X comes in at that sky-high $1,000 price tag. I mean, Xbox's June 2025 showcase literally showed the Ally with the bold text, "This is an Xbox," embarrassingly trying to convince us all of Xbox's new philosophy. If you're interested in learning more about the failure of Xbox, I do have another video on the channel where I talk about Microsoft's $75 billion spending on studios that they have purchased, only to go and massacre them by shockingly shutting them down. This includes studios that were producing successful, critically acclaimed games, as has left the entire gaming industry dumbfounded as to what Xbox were thinking by purchasing these studios in the first place, only to shut them down. This includes the developer of the critically acclaimed Hi-Fi Rush Tango Gameworks. But yeah, we have reached the point of the video where I want to hand over the discussion to all of you. What do you guys think about Xbox's strategy with Game Pass? There are some people who are still in denial, claiming that this is still one of the greatest deals in gaming, but what do you think about this 50% price increase to Game Pass Ultimate, and with bonus features being removed from lower tiers of Game Pass? The unfortunate reality is, it seems like Xbox will be exiting the gaming console business. It won't happen today or tomorrow, but it's inevitable. All of the signs are pointing towards this future. Ultimately, this is a bad thing for the consumer. With less competition, it'll allow Sony and Nintendo to do whatever they please because gamers will be left with no other option. I do hope that Microsoft has a way to pull Xbox back from this brink of death, but it seems like this situation is worse than even the red ring of death. If there's anything that I've forgotten to mention about the current issues with Xbox, then let me know by continuing the discussion in the comments. And lastly, thanks for making it to the end of this one, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video.
A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.